Okay, so hi class. This is Mackenzie. This is my great aunt Irmgard. Can you tell me your whole name, please?
My whole name?
Yeah, I can.
Irmgard Martha Snellgrove. But at that time it wasn't Snellgrove, it was Schroeder.
Yeah. And then, when were you born?
May 5th. No, wait a minute.
May 27th.
May 27. May 5th. May 27, 1927.
And where were you born?
In Wilhelminenort, Kreis Oels, Germany.
Yeah.
Schlesien.
Yeah, there's a lot of words.
This is like, what is the other? We are in Arizona and this is California, you know. Just
Yeah,
like
like
that.
the States, kind of. And when did you leave Germany and go to New York? Sorry.
In 1953. In 1953.
Was it?
Yes, 1953. When you were,
Okay, 1953. What month was that then?
You came in August
August.
and
And
married Uncle Jack.
yeah,
Okay,
and how?
Let's back up a minute and go back to her.
Yeah, well, that was just covering the basics, kind of. Okay, so World War II obviously started in 1939, and how old were you when that started?
Find out 12 years old.
Yeah, and then can you tell us why you don't have any pictures of yourself when you were younger?
Well, because when the war went the other way, and we had to flee, so we fled to the west side, and it was all in the night or so. The Russians were coming, you just grabbed what you had. I forgot something more. And nobody brought the pictures. And when my mother was all alone home, you know, my father was gone, my mother was alone, the kids were all somewhere. I think that's what I forgot. I was somewhere already
Yeah.
working, I think, in a Flieger, in the airport.
So when you were 12 years old in 1939, that's when the war broke out.
Yeah.
Tell us what it was like the day that happened. You went to school.
Came home, my father wasn't there. My mother had to do the post office all by herself, you know. And the kids had to really help too because there was no cars. We were on bicycle or walking. And we had the only telephone. So if somebody wanted to talk to somebody, we had to go and get them.
So you came home and your father was gone, and where was he gone?
I can't remember where it was.
But he went to become a soldier.
Yeah,
Right.
They were all recruited, you know, all the men that were able to do.
And
There must have been a place where they gathered, maybe in a bigger town, and I would think.
and can you tell me what it was like, or what you remember going to school?
School for school.
Yeah.
After the war started, was it different?
No,
No different
No.
at school.
we
And
just learned more about Hitler when we were in the youth group.
yeah.
You know, we learned only about Hitler, everything. Now, if you ask me today, I don't even know where he was born and when he was born. We learned all that. Now I forgot.
And then was there anything different about like buying food?
Yeah, and then the stamps came on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got stamps and you can only buy if you had enough stamps. So it was always enough.
And then do you remember the first time you saw Hitler?
Hitler, I was in Breslau, that is the bigger town. That's where I went to business school. And he went by. And what do you call those things?
Parade?
Train in a parade?
In a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was standing there. And you go like that.
Yeah. And so you had to like what can you tell how it escalated from just saying Heil to doing all the stuff when Hitler was
In
there?
other words, it got worse where you had to show more and more respect each time, or first you just stood up and first you said Heil and then you
And then when he was not assassinated, but somebody planned something. And then we had to do Heil Hitler. First it was Heil, and then it was Heil Hitler.
Mm-hmm. Specifically Hitler.
They still didn't think it affected us too much when you're a kid.
Yeah, because you're just a kid and you don't really know what's happening. I think that's all.
Well, then
or
how did you come meet Jack and come to America?
Well, we ended up in Bavaria, in Regensburg.
Why did you end up there?
After we fled, we ended up there. Oh, and when the war was over, my father, we didn't know where we were. Our mother, we didn't know where she was. Father, we didn't know. But he came to Straubing in Bavaria, and there was my aunt. I called her aunt and uncle, even though they were stranger, because in Germany you don't say, hey, Marilyn, you say Aunt Marilyn or Mrs. Marilyn. And that was when I was really young, when they sent me through a Holung, to a spa or something like that. They sent kids that were needy of health. Not that I just was small. Mm-hmm. And they thought, this is a good thing for me to go and see something else, and meet the new people. And I was still small then. I mean, more small, and you just call them aunt and uncle, even though they weren't related to you. We came to a big place, the hall, where they picked us up, the people. They wanted somebody, to take care of for a while. And
so somebody picked you up to take care of you for a while?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old were you then when that happened?
I don't know. It must have been 8 maybe.
Okay, well, I'm kind of running out of memory. Is there anything you want to say, like, when I wrap it up? Because you got a few more seconds left of this.
Are you glad you
Anything
came
else?
to America?
Yeah.
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 You met Uncle Jack and came over here when you were 27 and married him, and you have been here ever since. And your family still lives in Germany. Your sister?
I got only one more sister left.
One more sister left, but she's still
92.
in 92. So good long life.
Okay, well, I think I have to kind of stop now. I only have 5 more seconds left. So this is my great aunt Irmgard, great aunt Irmgard, and that was our interview, and I have to hurry up and stop this. Okay, bye class, thank you.